one more session together today, and today is, I think it's like episode 126. So we'll be starting with our the good friend, a good tool. It's A at 440 cycles per second. You likely know what this is because you've likely seen this before. If you've been here for a while with me, you know that it's the source, it's the tuning that we're looking for. It's the concert pitch. Yeah, so good morning. And welcome back to another morning ritual for guitar growth, where I spend an hour with my guitar in the morning and with you. If you choose, you're more than welcome to grab your guitar if you would like. And I know some of you do like to do that. So welcome, Kevin. And just going to work through the tuning process this morning. I know it's potentially not the most flattering thing to do during a live stream, because there's a whole lot of let's hurry up and go in the world, and maybe when it comes to tuning one's own instrument, there might be a greater tolerance for time spent. But sitting around and watching someone tune an instrument probably isn't on top of priority list, And I fully appreciate that, but still, that's what's happening this morning. Just gotta get it in tune. This is the first time I'm reaching for the guitar today. I know it seems late. It seems late to be just grabbing for the guitar at 7:30, but I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. working on just warming up with my guitar and getting my mind in shape for a day of guitar or guitar-related functions, and working on my breath too while I'm working through this breathing. So I don't know if you could see inside my mind, but I'm thinking about a number of different things as I work through this this process, right? I'm thinking about going to the store and buying bread, or what if this or what if that, or did I get the door latched correctly on my way out of the barn this morning, or the man door at the garage. A lot of those things can be eliminated. A lot of those questions and those that wandering mind, going to the store and buying groceries, that could be eliminated for me by just being more mindful of everything I do and being sure that I'm in touch with the door as I'm closing it, pulling. Did it latch? Yes, it did latch. All of those things become, those are conditions that we can develop so that we're not mindless when we practice the guitar. And it's just, just talking about me and my guitar. Just a simple duo here. I'm going to start. Let's start off with frets, fingers 3 and 4 on frets 10 and 12. 1 E and 2. So here we go. If you're here, I wanted to welcome you as a fellow guitar practitioner. So this is not about views. This is just simply about sitting here with. If it's about views, I would, I'd stop it. I would have stopped this a long time ago because it's, it's killing my channel, but with the durations and that kind of thing. But it's not really about that for me. It's about watching what's going on and observing longitudinal growth, and I hope that this can inspire others to also seek longitudinal growth. Yeah, there we go. All right, it starts, we're gliding along now. So we're just starting to figure this out. If you're here, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, just warming up with the guitar, and I invite you to join me and during this process, we're going through a period of guitar growth. If you want to follow along and you don't yet have it, you can visit my website and download the 5x5 for guitar growth. It's a PDF, it's free at jasoncareyguitar.com. You can say hello there. You could also connect with me there. If you're following along and you do have questions about what's going on here, specifically what's going on with warming up with the guitar, don't hesitate to contact me anytime you'd like. It's Jason at jasoncareyguitar.com or growth@jasoncareyguitar.com. Or you could just simply use the contact form at jasoncareyguitar.com. Here we go, 1 E and a 2. You know what to do. Fingers 2 and 3 on frets 10 and 12. And that kicks us off for the stretchy part of the session. My plan, if you stick around, I have a few more things. If I say if you stick around, I don't want to tease you or lead you into sticking around, but what's going on here is I'm calculating my posture, my breath, and my chromatic style finger warm-ups. Just chromatic style finger warm-ups. In this particular case, I'm starting as a 2-fingered guitar player. So if I only had 2 fingers on the guitar, what would I do? I would likely keep playing. I would like to think that I'd keep playing. So, and imagining that I'm actually going through the motions that I only have 2 fingers, keep warming up like this, I am still playing as a 2-fingered guitar player. So fingers 1 and 2 on 10 and 12, here we go. 1 E and a 2, you know what to do. There we go, let's get the right fingers on the road here. That's right, they're off, they've got the bag lunch going, so they don't have to spend on food and drink on the road, which is conveniently, it's there, but it's priced at a point where we want to have these fingers well fed and nourished before they're on the way, and also take with them the breathing skills they need to oxygenate the tissues as they proceed through rigorous warm-up exercising. And we're just taking it easy here today. We're just 4 attacks per beat. You can hear the click in the background. The click is the metronome, and the click is at 60 beats per minute, if you're wondering. Just in case you're wondering. And if you're with me, I have to say thank you for being with me. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for being a torch bearer, an actual, honest to goodness guitar practitioner that actually has a soul. You get up in the morning or in the afternoon or wherever you watch the stream, because after the live stream is completed, we make this available for on-demand viewing right here at YouTube, at Jason Carey Guitar on YouTube. And it's there because likely you'll see something if you're just skimming through, if you just pop in and out, or if you have to get moving to your job, or whatever you have to do. Life grabs us by the bullhorns. You could go watch the videos on demand and then locate what you want to look at. So it is available under the Livetab after this happens. So just so you know, fingers 2 and 4, we're still using 2 fingers, but now we're separating the fingers out. Instead of using fingers that are next door to one another, we're just using, we'll use these eventually, rock and roll forever. We've got, let's see, these 2, and then these 2, and then let's see if we can do this. Do 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 do. That's a nice little finger exercise to do. Fingers 1 and 4, 2 and 3. So those are cool things to be doing while you're walking down the hallway, you know, waiting for someone at an appointment, or waiting for somebody while you're waiting to pitch your movie to the next executive. You know, you're waiting, you're just patiently waiting. Breathing is great, driving is great, but breathing is super while you're doing these things. And we're starting with fingers 2 and 4, and then we'll use fingers 1 and 3, and then we'll use fingers 1 and 4. And that's stuff that you can do with or without the guitar. So that's good pro tip knowledge. So, do you know remember the Chapin, Mr. Chapin, the songwriter? You know, it's, I'm going to tell this story real quick. It's 9 and 12. I've overtold it, but it's just great. So, you know, Jim Chapin, the old man Jim, the father, the drummer of the famous songwriter, he used to play drums, practice drums on his dashboard of his car, and you'd look at the dashboard of his car and it was all like completely just disassembled because he had like worn it out with his drumsticks. Just a really wonderful ball of energy, that fella, you know. But it's we don't need the instrument to practice the instrument all the time. Sometimes it's, you know, just meditating on it, you know, thinking about it, you know, when we have the downtime, or if we're in a holding pattern somewhere. So fingers 1, 3, 9, and 12. Here we go. T, E, and go. And that's it right there. If you would like to get that tempo in your bones a little deeper, you can always stomp your heel. You could tap your toes. Tapping the toe gets only just a portion of your muscle tissue into the system, folded into the tempo. But when we tap the heel, it actually moves the whole leg, and it gets into your, you know, the pelvic area and beyond, into your lower abdominal season. And it's a good thing to do. So toe tapping can help, but I'm just relying on the metronome. There it is. All right, starting to come to life here a little bit. I'm just going to work on through, you know, through the rest of this 3 finger groupings, and then, you know, the 2 fingers, the 3 fingers, and then the 4 finger groups this morning. And then I wanted to start working on some scales today. So if you stick around, we're going to start working the 3-note per string scales. Pretty common practice for guitar players, and we'll go ahead and examine some of those today. I actually wanted to look at 3, the triadic, you know, and then 4-note arpeggios today. So triadic and 7th tone arpeggios. So I want to practice those today a little bit too. So if you're interested in that stuff, you can, you know, either if you're watching this on demand, skip ahead, or if you're watching this now, you can just kind of stick around or come back. So fingers 2 and 3 and 4 on 10, 11, and 12. Here we go. 1 E and 2. You know what to do. If you do have questions about what's going on, if you're just sitting on the fence about being a guitar player, or you're wondering about getting your first guitar and what to do next as a beginner, or let's say I'm like 8 months in, you know, what am I doing? What am I to do here? Well, this is a good place. This is a good place where the rubber meets the road. to do those kinds of things, you know, to follow along. So if you do have questions, you can email me at jason@jasoncareyguitar.com anytime you would like. And if you have a question about a warm-up, or a why question, or a how or when question, or who even, you can email those to me anytime you like, and then maybe they show up in the stream here, and I can easily respond and help you along your path if you'd like to do that. So if you think that that's helpful, you're more than welcome to do that. No charge. You know, if you're watching the morning ritual, there's no, you know, I can communicate with you via email a little bit and then take it from there. So 10, 11, and 12, 1, 2, and 3. 2E and a go E. T-E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2. T-E and a. And you'll notice I leave the last beat out. If we were in the recording studio together and we were counting off the song, we don't want any part of the, sometimes if we're playing in a live room, the last notes that we, or the last words that we say will still be lingering in the air and bouncing off of the walls, even after we stop talking. So we wouldn't want that microphone to capture any of that ambient noise or bleed into you know, the tracking that we're doing. Studio time can be valuable, and it's about having your stuff together before you enter the program, because it's expensive. You know, if you're not being sponsored by you know, if you don't have some kind of program in place where if you have a program in place, let's say this, where the budget is coming out of your own pocket, it's a good idea to have, you know, your stuff together. Although if you can afford the luxury of sitting in the studio and composing in the studio and doing all of those things in the studio can become an instrument, an additional member of the band. So, all right, 9, 10, and 12, here we go. 1E and a 2, here we go. All right, let's see if we can maintain fingers 1 and 2 and 4 in this pattern all the way down to position number 1, and then what we'll do is we'll come back up and we'll grab fingers 1 and 3 and 4, okay? This gives us a break, and it gives us a second to really think about third finger. The ring finger is just hovering up there, trying not to move, trying not to make a sound. So if the more still we can keep that finger, the better. It's just an indicator for how much coordination we develop and how much control we have. Now, if it's not being still and it moves a lot, it's a good idea to slow this down. And then really watch that third finger. You see, when I push the fourth finger down, the third finger moves. Ooh, it moves. So I have to provide contrary motion here. And then when I move from the fourth finger to the first finger, the third finger comes up. So those are things that I want to be cognizant of. And I can't really fix that at tempo, so I have to bring that down to tempo, you know, way down tempo, and then really physically examine it and mentally examine it, because I'll tell you what, it can be a challenge to do these things. And what stops me from wanting to throw my computer through the window, you know, with all of this frustration that mounts when we do this kind of work? Well, breath is supremely important, come to find out. So breathing in through the nose. So I'm going to model breath for the first few positional changes here without any talking. So you can observe that if you like, you know, if you don't want, flip away. But certainly you're welcome to stay. Let's see what it does, what the breath actually does for us. So we just did 1, 2, and 3. We'll use fingers 1, 3, and 4 now. 1, E, and a 2. Here we go. Breath in. You can sometimes just let it come out through your mouth. You just open the mouth, get rid of that breath. But you'll notice that while breathing, I noticed like where I'm holding tension in my body. And as a player, if you really wanted to become, reach high levels of proficiencies, I think the first rule is to understand that we don't want to hold tension in our bodies. And if we wanted to play, Flight of the Bumblebee or something like that, we can't really have that tension in our bodies. We have to figure out a way to mitigate that, right? And so breath is the one way that I like to do that. So let's go ahead and start with fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 on frets 9, 10, 11, and 12, right after this stretch, okay? All right, here's the first stretch that we have. I've got a little bit of tea going here, so I'm just going to take a quick little breather, because every 15 minutes I like to take so here's the stretch, straight elbow. If you wanted to get going, well, ahead of me, these are renewing experiences, right? I'm a little behind on my stretch game this morning. We're 20 something minutes in. But 15 minutes, I'll tell you what, every 15 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes or something like that, if I can get 3 or 4 of these in while I'm doing my morning ritual, it's a good thing. So here's 16 clicks here. Oh, this arm is really feeling it. And then 16 clicks here. I'll come right back to that. I just wanted to grab a sip of tea here, just a quick sip of tea. And then I'll show you another really cool thing that I have on the slate for work a little later today. Whoa, that is hot. Whoo, doggy, I knew that was going to happen. There's I don't know, do you use these hydro flasks? Man, do these keep beverages warm? I'll tell you what. Or cold too. I guess cold is a thing if you're interested in having a chilled beverage. All right, so here we go. Clicks, we're clicking away. Good solid posture on the back. We've got our abdomen tucked in. It's like our belly button is trying to touch our spine, And I'm pushing my seat back a little bit, so I have a little bit of a rounded, my back is rounded a little bit, and I'm seated upright, and I have my neck situated like there's a little string and somebody's pulling the string up to the ceiling. Those little benefits from yoga will help with lower back pain. So if you're playing the guitar a lot and you have lower back pain, it's important to marry this exercise, this stretching exercise, with a get up off of your butt and move around for 5 or 10 minutes every 15 or 20 minutes. It's so important to move too. It's really important to move. I don't do that during this 1 hour session. I like to call these Szechuans. But I like to think of these as spicy little practices. So this is like the morning Szechuan for me. It's just getting the mind right, getting the head on straight, getting the helmet and chin strap on, you know what I mean? And then making sure my squirrel suit is all zippered correctly. No wardrobe failures in that department. And it's just one of those where I'm breathing. The breath just to encourage and promote good circulation to all of your tissues, including your, oh, I don't know. Do you know about how many neural pathways we're developing while we're doing this work? I talk about neuroplasticity, man. I'm just like, just sitting down playing the guitar is actively. So you notice we're not playing passively, we're actively engaged in the guitar. We're not letting ourselves run around and say, oh, squirrel over here, squirrel over there. What's that on the side of the road? And then I crash into the back of the rig in front of me. And, you know, it's really important to play, to focus on the moment, every single moment. So if you're here with me, we can continue to focus on every single moment, right? Now you can enjoy your brand new hands here because that's what it should feel like. You have brand new hands and arms, and we'll do shoulder stretches next time around. But let's keep going. Frets not now, position 9. Once again, you know, finger 1 is the position indicator. So if I'm on fret number 9, that indicates that I'm on position number here. Let's talk about this real quick. Like if I'm on position number 9 or 7 or 5 or 3 or whatever, but let's say we're on position number 9. I have 4 fingers. I have the, you know, I still have 4 fingers magically, it's a matter of grace. I'm totally excited I still have 4 fingers. If you don't, you know, don't worry about it. We can still play the guitar up to speed. Just listen to Django Reinhardt, you know what I mean? 2-finger guitar player, and he'll explain everything to you. So we've got fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each finger covers a new fret, and I'm basically fanning my fingers over the fret board in 9th position. How do I know it's 9th position? Well, it's where my first finger is. So I could be in 9th position and stretch the 4th finger and cover 5 frets, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 if I need to, right? I could double stretch the 4th finger. I could have intermediate stretches here. Could also do the kickstand, get that first finger hanging back. You know, you don't want to put the nose down completely into the wave, you know, because you know what happens then. So, excuse me. Maybe I thought maybe I'd do a full hour-long sample of me just clearing my throat. So here's just the, you know, what we can accomplish in the position 9th position. I could easily stretch down to position 8 and stretch up, or not position 8, stretch to include fret number 8 and stretch to include fret number 13. So now we have, instead of a 4-finger capacity, we've improved our capacity here by just stretching both ends. And then stretching continues to expand as we expand. But for now, this is all we really need to know. I'm still in 9th position, by the way. This is just 1st finger and 4th finger stretch in 9th position. So I can control any of those tones that I need, okay, with 4 fingers. So back to reality and practical, the world of practical application. If you're a military operator, you might appreciate this. So fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, where the rubber meets the road. Practical application from the schoolhouse. So we've got this 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm clicking away, I'm burning the clicks down here. We're just burning the clicks down. And 60 beats per minute, 4 attacks per beat. And we're starting right now with 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a U. Okay, 1 E and a 2. Here we go, 9, 10, 11, and 12 fingers. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Here we go. And we're off. And it's just a simple alternating pattern with the right hand, or the picking hand in my situation, which happens to be my right hand. I am broadcasting with a mirrored, I don't know if this is to your benefit or not, but hopefully you can figure this out. You know, there's a picking hand and a fretting hand, irregardless of whether we play right or left hand guitar. Now, if you play like Jimi Hendrix, you know, the guitar is upside down, strings are upside down and backwards, that will be a little bit more of a chore, but I'm counting on that being a rarity, and if we need to account for that, you can email me at jason@jasoncareyguitar.com. are following along and if you think you might enjoy revisiting this program every weekday morning, I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time at this point. It's Eastern Daylight Time right now, but Eastern Time. We do daylight change over here, so. But you can find me here every weekday morning right here on YouTube, and it's free for the entire year of 2025. So it's a morning ritual for guitar growth. That includes growth of the person, you know, integrating into the family, into the community, into the world at large. So my goal here this year is to see what happened from the first video and then what happens in the last video, 260 something videos, 260 videos later, you know, 260 hours literally later of warm-up. What does that pay out longitudinally over the span of 1 year? And is it worth it? What did I gain? What did I lose? What did I, you know, benefit analysis, I guess what we're going to do is overlay one video with the next and just take a look at the progress. I'm assuming it's going to be knowing what I know about things. I'm making an educated guess that it will be progress oriented, right? So 1 E and a 2. Let's go ahead and stretch the fourth finger. Same thing. Yeah, that's right. 9, 10, 11, and 13. And the programmatic part of my warm-up, my daily warm-up, does not change a whole lot. I do 60 every day, at least for 2025, because I feel it's a good quality, relatable tempo that we're very used to. 60 is the equivalent of a second passing by, so if you're a child of the old analog clocks, chances are you've sat around and watched the second hand tick away. So we typically tend to walk at 60 down the road. If it's a comfortable day, sunny day, we're comfortable, we're at ease. 60 beats per minute is a good rate of speed where we walk gingerly down the road with a companion maybe, and deep discussion, you know, sharing parables. And my thumb is behind it's behind the guitar neck on the upper end of the curvature of the back of the guitar neck, because that's where I'm going to gain the most, be able to distribute power equally across the fingertips. You can see the tip of my thumb is sort of like right between, it's the median, it's the halfway marker between my index and middle pinky fingers. So that's where I like to keep my thumb. And if I'm shredding, you'll notice the thumb will drop down into here, you know, and it'll give us a lot more room to operate. So we can use the thumb as a pivot point too, and we can get way up here and then way down here. So we have these huge leaps that we can really program. But for now, let's just use the thumb as a distributor, right? So fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 frets, position number 9, 10, 11, 12. But we'll do the kickstand. Here we go. 1 E and a 2. You know what to do. Yeah. Good quality breath in. Good quality breath out. Good quality breath in. Fill it right up. Good quality breath out. So when we focus on breath, it's a good thing. Now I'm going to draw my attention to my feet. So I have so let's see. I have my left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And it is like, I feel kind of like I'm walking with this tempo, and more I do this kind of thing, the more comfortable I get with the tempo, right? If I feel like I can walk the tempo, that's a good thing. And if I can walk the tempo, I can rest assured that my playing will be more musical. If I can't walk the tempo, I need to practice walking at increased intervals of speed until those new intervals of speed have me running 4-minute miles, or doing telephone polls or something like that. I wanted to do some speed burst exercising today too. I'm not sure what exactly you're up for this morning, but part of my warm-up is to get all of these things moving, and how to just approach the guitar with a pick, with a plectrum, and how to get those wild sounding runs that everyone else seems to be able to do, that come at a tremendous cost to me, it seems like, right? So we can work, and if you ever felt that, I can relate to that. I can relate to you, and we're going to help bridge that. We're going to lower the barrier to, becoming a sort of an athletic guitar player today. I think over the span of the remainder of the year. Good morning once again. I'm Jason here at Jason Carey Guitar. This is the morning ritual for guitar growth. If you're just tuning in, you can go ahead and smash that like button. That's always a great help here. Certainly appreciate that. And if it's anything of value to you, certainly smash that. Give it a good smash, And if you do have questions along the way, I'd love to answer your questions. I'd love to hear from you. And you can do that really easily. It's jason@jasoncareyguitar.com, email. All right, before I get going again with the next phase, I wanted to share with you this thing right here. A good friend of mine made this for me. It's one of the Berkeley books, right? And it's, through ring. It's the best idea I've ever. He's into print, you know what I mean? He's like, runs the entire Eastern Seaboard for print, I guess. Kind of, you don't want to mention him too much, but he's a big print dude, and a lot of respect. But you can see what he did is he gave us some UV. He basically, where you punch the holes, he lined that side of the page so that you can't pull the pages out of the 3-ring binder. So we've got Call for All Demons, Alone Together, All the Things You Are, OMG. And then some of these tunes are just, great. Autumn Leaves and some handwritten junk here. We've got Freight Train, got all the standards that are, have been living around for a while. A bunch of 2/5s and altered approaches. And then extended 2/5s, a lot of these notes. A lot of those notes I like to keep in my book. I have a book available on Amazon, so if you haven't gotten the book yet, you might want to get it. It's just it's a guitar notebook, a guitar workbook. So Jason Carey, and there's a guitar workbook. You can, if that helps you organize your stuff, then more power to you. But let's go ahead and start with. I feel like I'm going to focus a little bit more on tone this time around. So I'm working the old 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm changing up. Typically I'll hold the pick like this. Now this is a really great thing if you're a plectrum player, or if you're an aspiring plectrum player like I am. You can get this pick, basically on the Y. If you can make that Y with your finger, and then place that pick over the, basically perpendicular to this bone, and then place your thumb over the top of that. That's basically how I learned how to hold a pick. That gives us a good, perfect format upon which to build our, hey, I'm going to be myself. And then I extend my first finger sometimes and use that first finger as a, as a place where I can roll the pick forward or roll the pick backwards. So you can see there's a lot of mechanical problems and certain feelings that you need to, and tissues and postures that we need to. You don't need to do any of this. You know, we could explore, but right now I'd like to get back to holding the pick like this, and then having the pick countered on the rear end with the thumb, right? So what does this do, and why would I hold the pick like this? Well, this is not a speed thing, I can tell you that. It's not for me anyway, but it is a tone thing. So let's continue doing these exercises. We'll start on position 1, and we'll just wonder about why would we even consider the pick, you know, the pick shape, the pick length, the pick size, the pick thickness, all of those things. The tip of the pick matters. Every single thing matters here. So let's start on position number 1 with this little diagonal pattern that I like to invert and then use. This is part of Steve Vai's 10-hour guitar workout. Everybody's been using this pattern for a long time. Steve Vai, Mr. Petrucci, you know, it's a good sort of like, it's good groundwork, you know, the basis upon which we can formulate, you know, our picking sequence, our picking hands. Just love this. So we've got fret 1. I'm going to move all the way back up to the 9th position, and remember that I would prefer to myself to maintain good posture and breath. So I've been breathing out this whole time, so I'm going to take a good solid breath in here. Hesitate to get into moving that right arm, or your picking hand and your picking arm and your wrist can be moved around to explore the range. Angle the pick different ways, forward angle, reverse angle. You know, you could shape the pick so that you have a little bit of back and forth. So, you know, there might be a situation where you want to have that scratchy sound as an attack leading the tone, right? So all of it's valid, all of it's valuable to experiment with, and I think I'm at that point where I wanted to just get back to a quick dose of pentatonicism before we move through. Let me just check the time here. I've got to put my goggles on for flash. 1/4 past, so I think we're in pretty good shape. I wanted to just get through pentatonic. So it's 1 3 1 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4, or the 4 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1. Here we go. 1 E and a 2. You know what to do. And if you're hanging out here and you feel like you really need to reach out, you can reach out anytime. Reach out anytime you like. You can easily communicate with us through jasoncareyguitar.com. That comes directly to the team, and I see all of that stuff. Just good, solid continuity of tone is all I'm looking for. I'm looking for this to be like a breath cycle for me. If I make mistakes, it's okay. I'll just work on mitigating those mistakes in the future. that, I'm going to switch over to quintuplets. And I'm going to ascend with sextuplets. My breath hasn't changed at all through that whole, when we alter the number of attacks per beat, the breath still remains the same for me, right? Just, I don't want to change my cardiovascular, my system internally based on how excited I am, or how, I think that can, if I get excited, I tend to rush the tempo, and you know, my plan is to not do that too much. All right, position number 2 of the pentatonic system is, and I'm relating this as position number 2 because it's position number 2 above the major or the minor pentatonic scale that we know. I'm justifying this because here's the key of C with no sharps, no flats. And then here's the key of A relative minor or A natural minor, which has no sharps and no flats. And then we'll just make that the minor pentatonic scale that we use, which comes with no sharps and no flats. Position number 2 or pattern number 2 of that looks like this major pentatonic shape. So we'll start that on position 9. 2 4 1 4 2 4 1 4 1 4 1 3 2 4 2 4. Yeah. And you'll notice that my fret hand, my picking hand went back. It reverted back to the pick, you know, how I normally would hold it in my day-to-day application. Good. All right. And I think, where are we at? Pattern number 3. Here's pattern number 3 on fret 9. So 1 3 1 3 1 3, stretch 4, and then 3 is on 1. There's 1 third finger on the G string. Some of us play it where we stretch back, and I play it, it depends on what I have for breakfast, you know, but it's worth practicing both patterns. Like, for example, instead of reaching up to that 9 there, it might be just as easy for you to learn how to reach back to that 9 over here. But for the sake of discipline, I'm going to continue along with doing the 4th finger stretch instead of the the 1st finger stretch. There it is, close enough. And then what we'll do is take a look at the next one above that. So we have the 1 4 1 4 1 3 1 3 2 4 1 4. And if you wanted to come back and digest these, this will be available on demand, and it's like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes in. So it's 50 minutes in if you wanted to check out this pattern at half speed. You can go watch the video on demand. 1 E and a 2 E and a, here we go. voice. Oh, what a great voicing there. Yeah, just beautiful stuff. All right, I think we have one more shape. Let's do the old 2-4, 2-4, 1-4, 1-4, 2-4, 2-4. 2 for 2 for 1 for 1 for 2 for 2 for. Here we go. Position number 9. 1 E ended 2 and 10, 12, 1, 9, 12. That's the one. Good posture, good breath, good position playing equals good quality seat time with good attitude. You know, maybe we put a little smile on our face, see what that does. We'll wear a little smile. And I'm Jason with Jason Carey Guitar. If you're just tuning in, I'm here every weekday morning with you doing the morning ritual for guitar growth every weekday morning at 7:30 for free all through 2025. And it's been I haven't been this excited to play the guitar in a long, long time. Just to get with the guitar and make the guitar my, just to spend a morning with the guitar and then work out the rest of the day. I'm going to do a quick stretch here. As a guitarist, in building my guitar, myself as a guitar practitioner, I can feel my back was just kind of bent right over there. So we definitely want to take care of our back. That back is a really important piece of the puzzle here. Good quality breath in, good quality breaths out. That's right. Maybe we're hunching the back and reaching forward. Maybe we bring it all the way up to the top. And then we hear a couple pops and snaps here. Snap, crackle, pop. Just working on the final stretch. And I think I'm going to work on some just some speed burst exercise. We'll do some telephone polls and then we'll call it a day, okay? What do you guys think? You think good deal? Yeah. So, I don't know, can we get a few more likes before we pop off in the next, I don't know, I've got to jump in 6 minutes? So, I would stay all day, but I know your time is so valuable, it's irreplaceable, and I've got to keep my time under control too. Otherwise, I'd stay here all day doing this. But check this out. 2 things that I want you to remember, that I want to remember as I work through the day today. Even though some of us think, hey, 3 note per string scales are like so passe, man. It's like, what do you even bother doing that for? It's so dumb. It's so like juvenile or beginner or novice, man. But it's really not. It is what you make of it, right? It's just a tool that we're going to put in our kit. We're either going to do something cool with it and useful with it, or we're not going to do something cool and useful with it. By cool and useful, of course, I mean something that serves the higher power, So I don't need to feel like I need to spend all of my notes down, in the first, 5 or 6 seconds of a guitar solo. If I don't value the listener enough, if I feel like I need to, spark the listener's attention by playing a gazillion notes, I'm probably in the wrong club. Melody is important. A good balance of melody and speed and control is probably, where I'm personally at, where I'm personally after. I'm really after, can I play can I get from this low G note to this D note up here, 1, 2.5 octaves higher with a 3 note per string rush or burst of tones. So yes, I can, right? And the way I would just engineer that, I would start with working it as you know. So we've got fingers 1, and we're doing the kickstand with finger 1, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. Then we come in and we do 4, 5, 7, and then 4, 5, 7, and then we switch up one. We jump up one position to 1. You know, instead of 1, 2, 4. So 3, 5, 7, or fingers 1, 2, 4. Stretch the 1, 2, 4. I'm bringing the kickstand in. 4, 5, fingers 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, or 4, 5, 7, and then I'm jumping up one position to 5, to frets 1, 5, 7, and 8, or fingers 1, 3, and 4, and 1, 3, and 4 for the top string, and then just shifting up one whole step with, which would put us in, it would move us from position number 5 to position number 7. Right, but we never hear that we're in position number 7, other than we're playing fret number 10 with our pinky fingers. So I would practice that up and down, right? Or maybe I'd start looking at the next position too. But anyway, I wanted to just get that out there in the ether for you today, and just kind of give us a few ideas. Now we can truncate that idea a little bit further along. You know, furthermore, we could use fingers, the same left or fret hand fingers, but we could use a different right hand approach with down, up, down, and since we're already going in downstroke-ville anyway, we can continue with a downstroke to the next string, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. That's called efficiency picking, so I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. And I certainly do appreciate you being here today, and I sincerely hope you have a wonderful day. And once again, I'm Jason with Jason Carey Guitar. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you do have questions about what's going on here, or how you would like to join in or proceed on your own, you can always email me anytime you'd like. You can visit me at jasoncareyguitar.com and drop us a line there, and we'll see what you have to say and love to hear from you. There's also a 5x5 guitar. There's a free PDF that you can download there. It's the 5x5 for guitar growth, and it's something that I've put together over the years and just sort of trying to simplify what it is I'm after and what it is I think is important. And there are a lot of important things, but it's condensed into an 8 or 9 or 10 page PDF for you, and you can download it for free at jasoncareyguitar.com. So maybe we'll see you again. And without further ado, I will release you to go spread peace and love and grace across the land. And until we meet again, I hope you can enjoy some happy picking. See you tomorrow.